Okay, everyone, welcome to Electronic Revolution's first broadcast of a Cal first match ever. We're doing at e-rev of the Cal League. First one's going to be Maine. Tonight's matchup's going to feature Illicit with a 3-0 record against Illskills with a 3-0 record as well. I'm joined in the broadcasting booth tonight, however, not commentating, but on shoutouts, Johnny Volcom's a Drogo. What's going on, Johnny?
Nothing much. As said, first Cal match is going to be a phenomenal match. Illicit versus Illskills. As said, sorry, I'm totally tripped out right now, but it's going to be a great match tonight. We have two Cal Maine teams, one 3-0 versus a 2-1 or 3-0 also, triple.
Yeah, it's going to be two 3-0 teams. Pretty much evenly balanced. Illicit just picked up a big win last night against Legerity, the favorite to win Cal Maine Atlantic. They've been picked all over the place. It's such great play from Spontaneous and Winrar. They're always consistent. Legerity trying to make their way out of Maine. Looks like it could be their season to do it this year, and they were stopped in their tracks last night by Illicit. If you guys didn't know this week, if you guys were watching any of Gotfrag TV's coverage, there was the Newegg Landfest 2007. I'm going to go over a few things that went on with that with Johnny in just a bit. First thing, Johnny, I want to get to is Complexity and just their dominance. You know, they did lose their first match of the LAN and since Digital Life, really. Complexity lost to San Francisco Optics. Just, I don't know what went on there for them, but the Optics definitely looked good against them. Optics were in the upper bracket finals. They only had to win one map against Complexity, and Complexity comes out of the losers bracket, wins 2 straight maps, and knocks the San Francisco Optics out of the Landfest in the second place finish. Just total dominance from Complexity. What's your opinion on them? Are they ever going to be beaten or ever be replaced at the top spot?
As said, they're coming back from 1.6, nearly being on top there, but they're just coming to Source, and they're really proving that Counter-Strike Source is easier. Totally dominating Team 3D there. It's kind of fishy. They're going to get back into that, how Team 3D is not doing so hot in Counter-Strike Source, but Complexity is just winning competition out of every competition, online and on LAN, doing a phenomenal job there.
Yeah, they were the #1 team in the Championship Gaming Series. They had a poor combine, but it's besides the point. When it mattered, they got the job done. They finished up first in the Championship Gaming Series season for Counter-Strike Source, as well as winning the X-Fire Stride Cup, which I casted that as well. And at Digital Life as well, just everything. Anything Complexity enters, they always win or are always close to the top. So congrats to Jason Lake getting his dream fulfilled, so to speak, you know, with Complexity just being a sheer dominant power in Counter-Strike Source. The next thing I want to get to is just the San Francisco Optics and, you know, their ability to, you know, not perform at Digital Life and finish last place, just losing the first 2 matches, wasn't even close, and then all of a sudden, you know, just picking up where they left off, so to speak, before Digital Life and finishing second place here at Newegg. It was just a pretty good thing to see San Francisco Optics back. War Machine seemed like the War Machine of old. Clown seemed like he was back to fighting, you know, style. It was just all-around great performance by the San Francisco Optics.
Indeed. So coming back from the base and shooting for a second place there at LAN 2K7. Sorry. But I mean, hope they have more things to come this season, or next season rather. They're going to definitely step it up, get their game back together as they should have been.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see what happens. And the third thing I want to get to is just 3D New York, Team 3D, formerly known as Team 3D, now the 3D New York due to the CGS. Finishing third place again, just seems like, you know, they can never get right next to Complexity. It's never that 1-2 that we were always used to seeing. It just seems like 3D New York right now, they're right on the edge of, you know, doing something great, but the mediocre play of Andy Rector and Mikey, Mikey Method So just not looking good right now for 3D New York. I mean, they definitely gotta address something with those 2 players at the moment.
Yeah, their players, Rector and Method, both on the base right there with the kills and deaths with a bad KDR and negative right there. A lot of things going out there about trying to cut Rector right now. A lot of comments from on the Godfrag site saying that the author itself quoted, "I could pick up 3 guys off the street and play with them and get more than 1 round against a Chimenea." It was a 13-1 match on day_nuke. There's really nothing to be said on that. Their performance is poor. I just don't know. They have to get a better set 5 together. I'm not really sure. They were doing great in 1.6, but now they're just kind of a shadow and kind of dying off.
Yeah, I really don't know. There was an article on Godfrag which Johnny just quoted about Andy Rector being possibly a victim of a cut, but I think it was Andrew Hammett wrote that article. He compares the stats, for what Rector does and how many assists he has. He basically sets up all the kills for K-Sharp, Lynn, and Volcano. So without him, I don't think you'd see Volcano, with great rifle work, as well as K-Sharp and Lynn picking up all those kills. So he does have a lot of assists, although his frag to death ratio is pretty mediocre at -40, I believe. But right underneath him is Method, and Method's he's not getting the assists that Rector's doing, and it just seems like he's not contributing. Even though Rector has the -40 kill death ratio, Method has the same thing, but he's not helping as much as Rector does, in the sense that they're not getting the kills. So it could go either way with Rector and Method. We'll have to see how this plays out. I know Dave Gaffon's probably got this all on lockdown. He's going to have them practicing, making sure they call their spots better, and just working together more as a team. And you'll see them back up, no problem. They just got to get used to the conversion over to Source. It's going to take them a little while, a little longer than Complexity does. Now, getting to another thing I want to talk about, Johnny, what's your opinion on Pandemic? I know they're a little iffy, online. I know they did just beat Complexity. Last week we covered on Nuke. They pretty much dominated Complexity right there, and picked up a strong win against them, giving them the first loss of the CEVO season. And then they come out on LAN, and they're always consistent, going into that top 3, top 4, and they're always, beating out the CGS teams in all their spots, and just getting into those top spots and looking really good right now. They definitely should be a consideration by any GM that's going to be in the CGS for next year's draft.
Indeed. So it's kind of weird. Maybe they feel better under pressure when they're put on LAN. Maybe the registry is better on servers. Maybe other teams don't do so well. They don't do as well under pressure. Well, Complexity is an exception, that is, but they're just not really feeling it online. There's maybe some problems dealing with Ventrilo versus actually being in person with the people and having a better connection with them on LAN. There's a lot of different variables that could come into play right there, but they just do phenomenal on LAN, always coming top 4 as you said. I just really can't understand what's going on online.
Yeah, I really don't know, but all the way back since, Paradox and Juan and Nick Noid have been playing on Verge, even with Griff, and even back in the days when they had Devour as well as Remo and all of the other Verge members, it just seems like they always pulled their stuff together on LAN more than they always did online. It's just the way they've always played. I mean, even going back to 2005 when they went up to CPL. So always consistent play by Pandemic, Verge, Forbidden. You know them as every single team out there, but right now going under the name Pandemic. And one of the last things I want to talk about, Johnny, before we cut to a commercial break and wait for the teams to join up in the server for tonight's matchup. If you're just tuning in right now, we're covering a Cal main matchup. In Season 9, we have Illicit with a record of 3-0 versus Illskills with a 3-0 record as well, but they have 2 forfeit wins, so we'll have to see how this one plays out. Can Illskills prove themselves worthy in Cal main? We'll have to see, because they've only played one match so far against the New York Yankees. So another thing I wanted to get to, Johnny, is the Dallas Venom and their just inability to perform. I mean, they've had a rough CGS. They did good on CEVO. They're doing really good in CEVO Professional Season 4, but just their inability to perform on LAN. They had a weak CGS, and now they're having a weak, turnout at Newegg, not even making it out of the group play. One shot made it before them. Pug, I believe, with the former manager of EFG, John Brex Atwell. Yeah, Dallas Venom they couldn't get out of group play, and they're the only CGS team that didn't place in the Newegg tournament. That's definitely gotta hurt Alex Conroy, the GM of the Dallas Venom. What do you think, Johnny?
I don't know, man. They just have to get their stuff back together, start getting some strats. They're not doing as strong as they should be. They're probably going to get pushed by their general manager right there to step it up, get their stuff back together, and actually play as a team as they should be.
Yeah, we'll have to see Dominator. I'm looking for him to step up. I know he's a big 1.6 player. He's got to make that conversion. He's got to get back to where he was before. It's taking him a little while, as well as 3D and the other 1.6 converts, but you'll see them come around eventually. You just got to give it some time. And that's going to segue into tonight's matchup between Illicit versus Illskills. Illicit, during the Newegg online qualifiers, they finished 3rd in their region. I believe they lost to EGE in, in whatever round they were in to get 3rd place, but definitely looking strong in that. They're 3-0 now in Cal Main with a new lineup, including Temptation from from Amplify Gaming in Season 6 invite player right there. You know, they're just looking better and better each week I see them play, and I don't know if Skills can do something tonight against them, but we'll have to see how it plays out. But it's looking pretty good for Illicit. We'll have to see how it turns out, but I don't know. Johnny, you got any predictions for tonight?
I think Illicit's going to come out on top. It's going to be, let's see, 16-10.
Alright, that sounds pretty reasonable. I'm going to go with a little bit more. I'm going to go with, well, since it is on the 24 round format, it's going to be 13 rounds to win, 12-12 tie, and then we go into overtime. But I'm going to go with 13 to possibly 7 or 8. So we'll have to see, if our predictions are correct, but that's going to wrap up our post-game coverage, so to speak, of Newegg Landfest 2007. Johnny is on shoutouts tonight, so during the match, at any time you want to be your shoutout, or you want your shoutout to be right at halftime or at the end of the match, get him in pound e-rev on the Game Search Network to e-rev CSS.calm. He's got shoutouts at the end of his name. And if you want to, you know, check out our site, if you're watching our stream at www.e-rev.tv on the World Wide Web, check out our forums, make a post, say, hey, what's up, 2020, what's up, Eisen, great video, great job, I like the clarity, or, you know, Johnny, you have a sexy voice, anything you want to say, check out our forums at www.e-rev.tv. So we're going to go to a quick commercial break right now. We're going to wait for the teams to join up in the server, have the LO3 be executed, and then have this week's matchup between Illicit and Ill Skills on CPL Strike.